Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, depending on whenever you see this video. I just want to share a small story with us, and then portrays the point about life on it. You see, in the Bible, I want to talk about two people. One is David, the other is Joseph. Now, David, is the last son of his father Jesse. And when Samuel wanted to, anoint the next king of Israel, he went to Jesse's house. And after the first 7 sons of Jesse had passed and God said they're not the ones, he called David. Jesse called David. And David came and he was anointed. But it wasn't that day that David became the king. David from that point had to go through a lot of threats. Despite the fact he was facing success, he had to go through a lot of death threats from Saul. Going from this mountain to another mountain, the cave of Adullam experience, going into Philistine, going into Gath, going into different kinds of places to run away from Saul. Finally, David became king at the age of 40. You can imagine the space of time. I also want to go to Joseph. The Bible gives us his age. He was the age of 17. At the age of 17, he was known and recognized, and his brothers hated him because of the love the father had for him. What did Joseph now do? He had to go through a lot of troubles. He was sold by his brothers into Egypt, even in the land where he was sold, in the land of in the house of Potiphar. He had to go through, false accusation from Potiphar's wife and went into prison. And from the prison, he now went into Pharaoh's palace and became the prime minister. Now you can imagine from that age of 17 till whenever, because you know it could take not plus or minus 10 years after the age of 17 before he now became the prime minister. Someone would have been like, what's going on? This thing that God has promised me, am I still going to get it? Maybe Joseph would have been that way. He has to be that way because he's a human being. So what I'm trying to say from these two things are that it may not be that particular time that you came in that you will fulfill that thing you have been called. Time must pass. Time must pass. In the life of David and the life of Joseph, which I'm using as examples and illustrations, we find out that they were there through times. They passed through situations. They passed through difficult times in the hands of both people and circumstances before they became those great things God had appointed them to be. Age immaterial, because God was at work in their lives. I want to speak to us specifically students based on the present ASU strike we are going through now. Many of us are feeling like we have lost a lot of time. We are losing a lot of time because of our age. We are not even being able to reach that particular status we want to reach at a particular age because of this impending strike we are going through now. I want you to understand, as far as your life is in God's hand, and He's the one that is your life. He created you, and He has a plan for your life. So this ASU strike cannot stand as something to inhibit it. And this, I can tell you for sure, was not a surprise to Him, because He knows everything. He's omniscient and He's omnipresent, and He knows everything and He can do everything. So there's nothing that is impossible for Him. So Him allowing this strike to come does not defeat the plan of what He has for your life. What does the Bible say? He that will come and will not delay. So we have no reason to fear. Very soon the strike will be called off. We'll go back to school, and we're going to go through our time. No matter how long it takes, we will surely fulfill the purpose God has in mind for us. Let whoever that is doing whatever they're doing continue. But as for you, yes, you are surely going to achieve that thing. Just like David and Joseph, with all the span of years they had after they had been anointed for the task God gave to them, they were able to fulfill it at a particular time. So the same applies to you. The Bible says that though it lingers, wait for it. It will not delay. So it's the same thing in your life. It's not going to delay. So cheer up. It's going to be fine. We will all be fine. You will be fine. Hello.